My name is Charlene DeChico. Join with me as I embark on this journey. This is your Community Spotlight. Do you know how to become a member of the Newtown Chamber? Well, if you have a business or you just want to get involved, all you have to do is join. Check out the website for more information or to register. And you can join us for our monthly meetings right here at Cornerstone Bank in Newtown to find out more or to become a member. See you at the next meeting.
On in.
Being a part of the Newtown Chamber gets you involved with community events like the Parade of Lights held on Main Street, as well as the annual Newtown Car Show, including many other city events that are held throughout the year. You can also join us for our Business After Hours events. Showcase your business and be featured on Community Spotlight TV. We look forward to meeting you soon. Contact us today for more info. Brittany's here to share with us some of the trials and tribulations she got through in her childhood. And so we have a warrior standing here, folks. Welcome, Brittany. Thank you for joining us here today.
Yes. Thanks.
And so let's talk about, what it was like. We know that you had a traumatic childhood. You dealt with COVID-19, but you have had to have gotten conditioned from some of those things you went through before. And so some darkness in your past, and we want to hear about that, but we want to hear how you got to the other side of that too.
Yeah, so I had a really rough childhood, and I, at 3 years old, lost my mother. She was shot. My dad and her had a lot of domestic violence going on, and as a result of one of their altercations, she died. My father was not charged for that. And gained custody of us, and because of
so there's all this going on. Your mother dies in this happenings, and then here you are with your father. You're 3 years old, you have siblings, and then what happens?
Well, over the years we endured a lot of physical abuse, and then we were sexually abused by him as well.
I can't imagine. So you're how old at this point, and how do you deal with that at that age?
Well,
You're how old were you when the sexual abuse was taking place? And this is you and your sisters?
Yes. So I was 11 when he sexually abused me. With my sister, it started at 8.
Wow.
So she was 13 at the time, and within I think a month after him doing it, he was in jail because the cops were notified and we were placed in foster care.
So you're dealing with this trauma, you and your sister, and somehow you guys talk about handling or dealing with the situation. Someone had to make a phone call. I mean, that took a lot of courage, because a lot of people have to endure for long periods of time, or they don't talk to anyone. And so how did you get the help that you needed?
Yeah, I think, for most people, they're loyal to their parents, even when they're doing really bad things to them. And we were for a really long time. I think my sister finding out that he sexually abused me really just threw her over the tip of the iceberg. And so they got into a horrible fight where my dad was like on the verge of death, and the cops were called. And so that is when we disclosed the physical abuse and later the sexual abuse.
Wow. So I mean, you have to deal with that. You're 11 years old, your father's taken away, and this thing has happened to you. Okay, so you're 14, you're getting involved in drugs. Did you make a correlation between you using drugs and some of the pain that you were suffering, or was it just, hey, these are drugs and I want to party and have a good time? Do you think it had anything to do? Were they related?
Yeah, I was already suffering a lot at that time, and I had developed an eating disorder.
Okay.
And, now as a marriage and family therapist, I know that there's a direct correlation between, children experiencing sexual abuse and eating disorders. But at that time, I didn't.
Oh, wow.
And so basically I found drugs, and it was like my next solution for
Sure.
like dealing with the pain. Yeah.
So you're self-medicating, and then what about with your father? Does he come into the picture, and how does that affect your life?
Yeah, so my dad was still in prison, and fast forward 10 years later, I get a call. I'm 21 at this time. I'm a senior in college getting my bachelor's degree, and I get a call from the DA letting me know that my dad can possibly get out of prison and get out with a squeaky clean record as if he did nothing. And so me and my sisters were subpoenaed to go and retestify against him.
So, and did it get a little dark for you there? Like, were you scared? I mean, did you start using more, or, was that?
Yeah, like I want to say I was using drugs before that, but I was still functioning.
Okay.
You know, I was going to school, I was working, but after that, seeing him after 10 years later, my nervous system could not handle it, and that's when my addiction went way over the deep end.
So here we have, this story, and Brittany has told us that she not only had to deal with devastation with losing her mom and the trauma, the sexual abuse, and, she turns to drugs. That seems to be a solution in the sense that she can cope and live life. And now, here he is back in her life at 21, and it just brings up a whole bunch of stuff, and she's just really over the edge now with using. And if you're using in that way that you describe, it has to be a dark place. And so if you want to tell us a little bit about that dark place, and then like, how did you get out of there?
Yeah, I mean, for anyone who uses, it gets dark really fast once you kind of cross that line. And so I just, I was surrounding myself with people that were very dangerous, very violent, and I was in a situation where I could have died, actually. And thankfully, I had some family members who knew that I was in this really dark place, and they had recommended that I go to rehab.
Okay.
So,
I mean, you didn't say, well, look, this has happened to me. My life, look, I had no shot as a kid. All of these terrible things start happening to me. I'm doing drugs. It's whatever. Like, I'd rather just keep using drugs and use that as an excuse. So you're using drugs and you get this call. They're telling you to go to rehab. I mean, you could have looked at that like, look, rehab, I just want to continue to use drugs. My life sucks, and that's just the way it is. I mean, there's a lot of excuses in there to say that I deserve to use drugs or that I'm nothing, right? A person can feel like nothing almost after having all of those things. How can you share with our audience that you've gone through this trauma, on every end of the spectrum, and you were able to get through to the other side? Why? How did that happen?
I remember in those last days of using, I remember getting to such a bottom, like a spiritual, emotional, physical bottom. And I remember like realizing I was at a crossroads, that I either needed to make a different decision and move on and change my life, or if I kept going down the road that I was going, I was scared, like maybe end up prostituting, maybe end up on Skid Row. Like the path I was going in was a really dangerous path. And so at one point I just realized, like, I've got to make a decision, and I've got to stop using like my story and what's happened to me as an excuse to kill myself. Wow. I just realized that, like, because I used my story as an excuse for so long with my teachers, with my friends, with, society, like everyone, like, poor me, look at all this stuff that's happened to me. And yes, it was horrible. And I don't wish it upon anybody, but at some point I feel like we have to put our story aside and we have to choose to live. Wow. We have to let go of the past and we have to move forward in the present. And so that's what I did.
So inspiring. Thank you so much, Brittany, for sharing this with us. I mean, think about that. I mean, this is someone who's endured and gone through, really, really hard times. And you made that decision. You said, I'm gonna get through this, no excuses. And so I'm guessing you kind of took the bull by the horns, right? Because now you're a therapist and you're going to be moving into your private practice. So, I mean, there's success, right? I mean, by making that decision, how did that affect your life in a positive way?
Well, I stayed the course. I was in rehab for 8 months, and I joined a 12-step fellowship, and I just did whatever I was told. They said journal. I journaled. They said ask for help, talk to people. I did it. I really just started looking at solutions. As the solutions were coming in, I tried them. I didn't know if they were going to work or not, but I tried them, and now I'm here today.
Wow. Well, it's very interesting because you talk about going to rehab and then going into the working with the 12-step fellowship and kind of bridging the gap. I think we're realizing more now that people can receive treatment, but the importance of aftercare. And so in your case, a 12-step fellowship. So would you say that it's key that not only that you go into treatment, but the aftercare? And then this 12-step fellowship, how does that help so much?
Yeah, I mean, the healing process it's a group effort. So I wasn't just going to a 12-step program. I was going to therapy. I was in a 12-step program. I was taking into consideration mind, body. I started working out, moving. I looked at like the wholeness of it, that I needed to heal physically, emotionally, spiritually. I found a higher power. I
took the direction. I think you say you took direction. People were giving you direction and you were taking it. And so, and you made the decision. And so if there's someone out there watching today that has gone through some of the stuff that you've gone through and is maybe afraid or doesn't know how to get to the other side. I mean, you have evidence today. Here's someone standing before you that has truly gone through some horrors and made it to the other side and is walking in the light, so to speak, and has an inspiring story to share with someone else. So is there something you could say to encourage them, or just any final words you'd like to share with our audience?
Yeah, like I think if I put myself back into that place when I was so scared and so alone and life was really dark, I think taking that first step to just ask for help or take one suggestion that someone's offering you, it really does open the door for a bunch of other positive experiences. So, I would say just take that next positive step, whether it's asking for help or taking a suggestion.
That's great. And so there you have it. If you're needing help, we're here at Addiction and Recovery TV. We're always encouraging you to call in, to contact us, and that we're here to help you. And not only that, if you're watching today and you see this broadcast in particular, Brittany has also partnered with us that if you're watching today and you call in, that she's willing to offer her services to help make sure that you can get the resources that you need. And Brittany has great people in her life. And so, if you need help, we'll help you here at Addiction and Recovery TV. Brittany's here to help you. And so don't delay reaching out. Don't be afraid. I mean, or if you're afraid, do it afraid. Make the call afraid, right? Because Brittany, you could say that you had to face some fear in your challenges.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Do it whether you're afraid or not. Just take that next step.
Brittany, we are so grateful that you're here today and that you're sharing your story with us and having that courage and fire and willingness and victory, really, to be a champion in your own life and share it with others. That's awesome. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tracy Hischlin with Prairie Home Furnishings in Stanley, North Dakota. We took over in April of 21 when the previous owners, Springen Furniture, retired. My husband and I and our 2 sons run the store. We do everything from furniture, flooring, mattresses, home decor, soon to be backsplashes, tile shower systems, countertops, and cabinetry. As you can see, we have everything from premium furniture, Omnia furniture, all leather. We really like to focus on unique custom items, and we like to bring you quality. We carry something for everybody, but You know, we really like to go to market and find those unique pieces that people can make their own and have one of a kind in their homes. So we have quite a few options on our floor, but we can also sit down with you and customize a one-of-a-kind piece. We get to know our customers. My husband grew up here. We're all about small town Stanley, and we love our community.
My name is Diane. I am retired, and now I help out here at Prairie Home Furnishings a couple days a week. And one of the reasons I love my job and love to be here is I love the community. I love seeing the new people and the old friends as well. It is nice that we are still a local company here in Stanley. We are open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5:30, and Saturdays, stop in and see us. We're open from 9 till 4.
Hello, I'm Kathy Bredvick, my husband Rod. We came up to look for a table, outdoor table, for the deck out at the cabin so it doesn't blow away. We found some beautiful outdoor furniture here. It would be perfect up there with the wind that blows in North Dakota. We come here in the summer, and we live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We both grew up here, so we come up here. We've got a place up in Powers Lake, and we just go up there and enjoy it in the summer.
We're both retired, and we spend our summers in Powers Lake, which is where I was born and raised.
We come to this furniture store because I always have quality furniture. They're very good to deal with. We've known Tracy's mom and dad for a long time, and so we just enjoy coming and shopping local and keeping things local for the people.
That's about it.
So come on down to Prairie Home Furnishings. We'd be happy to see you and fit your home for everything your home deserves.
I went and served my country.
I saw horrible things.
I started using drugs on deployment.
I started when I got home.
I'd get high in the morning.
In the afternoon.
At night. I wanted to stop using drugs, but I couldn't.
I couldn't.
I lied to my family.
I lied to myself.
Then I found a safe place.
Narcotics Anonymous.
And I stopped and got clean.
I stopped.
I stopped.
You can stop too.
If alcohol builds a wall around you that doesn't let you see where you're going, that keeps you feeling isolated and alone, that makes you feel hopeless, know this. We are here to help if you want us to. It's never too early or too late to ask for help with a drinking problem. Alcoholics Anonymous. There is a way out. For more information, visit aa.org and download the Meeting Guide app.
Bend with your knees and get your...
Hi everybody, my name is Tisa Peak and we are out here at JT Family Equine, and it's all about horses today and what we can teach the youth across Bismarck and beyond about not only what horses can bring as confidence, independence, but learning the safety aspects, how to saddle, how to lead a horse, and then growing as far as groundwork goes with a horse. And what we've noticed is a lot of children are either really confident or they're not, but it brings out different emotions. So with a horse, you really have to control your emotions. You might have to contain the excitement, or you might have to fake it until you make it and be confident around the horse, because we have to have that quality to be a leader around the horse. So we're just trying to bring that out in children, get them on the backs of horses, get them to know that horses are their friend and that we can control some emotions, and maybe even inspire someone to become a horseman or horsewoman, be a rodeo athlete, whatever it is, because I just truly believe that horses are the only thing I've had to communicate with people. It's why I have relationships, and a horse doesn't judge. That's the most important thing. When you're having a bad day, they don't know it. You have to come out and be at your top, and they will either change your day because you have to, or they will make your day better in a way that you never thought. So we just love horses out here, and we're showing them ponies to big horses and what can be done in the future, and maybe just putting some smiles on people's faces.
Your stirrup, this is where your foot's gonna go. And it's not the whole foot, it's just the ball of your feet. That's the safest.
Horses are healing, and it's really going to be nice for these kids to be able to just be in touch with them, and I'm excited about it. And I'm really thankful that Chairman Fox funds this. This is the 4th year now. You'll find that they love horses. Kids are going to have a great time. And these clinics, by the way, fill up in minutes. When I put them online, they are filled up, and then there's actually kids that wish they could come but we're full. So that's why I say if there was just any way we could build on it and make it bigger, I would love that. That's my goal. That would be my wish.
My name is Lauren White Jr. Itafawe. I reached out kind of late actually, and luckily enough there was a spot available for my daughter. You know, being off reservation now, living here in Bismarck is definitely quite different from the way I grew up. I grew up in White Shoals, North Dakota, and from a very young age, being around horses, those were some of my first memories. I think the first time I rode was about 2. Spent every summer, fall, you know, almost daily on the horses. So being able to have that in my life and in my childhood was really great. And now, you know, we're out here in Bismarck, and so it's totally different for my kids growing up more in an urban setting. So being able to have an opportunity like this was a great thing for them, and really appreciate you know what Sage Cooley does, the office of chairman, being able to, you know, support these kinds of possibilities for the kids to get involved and get out there and kind of have a little bit of that horse culture that we did as youth growing up. So yeah, very, very good thing, very happy and appreciative for it.
Okay. Noah. Hi, my name is Catherine Eagle Williams. I am the CEO for the Elbow Woods Memorial Health Center. Elbow Woods Memorial Health Center consists of 5 clinics, pharmacies, dental, optometry, and physical therapy. We offer limited specialty care through orthopedics, nephrology, and podiatry. Our organization functions in part through a Public Law 93-638 contract with the Indian Health Service. In essence, the 3 affiliated tribes operates our own healthcare system. The Public Law 93-638 contract allows for flexibility of our tribe to manage our healthcare system. EMHC and the tribal field clinics are comprised of healthcare professionals dedicated to enhancing the mental and physical well-being of the members of the 3 affiliated tribes, while serving all enrolled members of federally recognized tribes with direct patient services. We believe in a healthy community that is the foundation for a thriving community. We prioritize prevention and take a patient-centered approach to health and wellness, while ensuring patients are actively involved in their preventative and treatment strategies with an overall goal of continuity of care. We provide ambulatory health services for birth through death. To enhance accessibility in our healthcare system, we provide some services in the field through collaborations with other tribal services, such as immunization clinics at our community centers. Our public health program advocates for overall wellness through education. Our workplace is dynamic, engaged, and compassionate, and you will appreciate the culture we foster here at Elbow Woods.
And I'm Tara Clayton. This will be our 9th anniversary this summer. We reopened in 2016, June of 2016. It's a full-service restaurant and bar, specializing in steaks.
All of our food is quality, high quality. That's our focus. So all of our patties are fresh, not frozen. They're with a local butcher here in North Dakota. We also have our prime rib that we make ourselves. We cut our own steaks and season our own meat for prime rib specials and fillies, etc. So quality is number one here. This is where we will have our bingo on Wednesday nights, and then we do the chicken ship bingo outside in the summer.
Originally, we came up from Arizona.
Over the years, I've witnessed and seen so much growth and opportunity here in this area.
Sakakawea has a rich history of, it's very well known obviously for its walleye fishing, and we get people from all over the country come here to stay with us at the hotel or at the cabins.
Yeah, North Dakota is a beautiful state, but we like to think that we have something very unique and special here in this little niche in Van Hook, proper right next to Newtown.
Hi, my name is Anthony, and I work at the Newtown Napa. I've been here about 13 or 14 years. I worked for Joe for a while now. The owner of Napa, Joe, he opened his business back in 1986. Worked here quite a while by himself. Probably started 2010 is when he started hiring people to work for him. And then now, 2025, we have a full crew. The last 14 years I've seen is the city and the tribe working together to come together with cleaner property like park, recreational stuff. I've noticed a lot of parks and civic centers, I'm assuming, would be like coming together, more community oriented. Newtown's a great town because we got a really big lake, lots of boat docks. If you're really big into boating, fishing, or just, I guess, outdoor in general, it's probably a good town to be around. With boating season coming up, we have a full line for batteries and jump packs, and we also carry stuff for like boat oil, for general maintenance on boats and lawnmowers. We actually are getting ready to start selling our Toro line for riding mowers and push mowers. Coming into the season, you might want to think about doing your basic maintenance on mowers and boats, like oil changes, spark plugs, air filters, you name it. I'm Anthony from Napa, Newtown. Come on down and visit us. With our lawnmowers that we sell with Toros, we have Titans, which are like these ones. They're the middle in between, kind of like in between residential and commercial. We have the bigger, more commercial zoned lawnmowers. Mainly we get those ones in for people that have a lot of land. And then we also sell like garden tillers or garden equipment. So we have the front facing tiller, we have a rear facing tiller, you got your push mowers. Mainly the first thing we ask is how big of a lawn are you cutting, and then we kind of base it off of how large your lawn is. And then we kind of go over like platforms. We'll bring you guys out and look at them, and you can sit on them, listen to them, we'll turn them on. If you're not sure what to get, just come on down, we'll try to help pick you out a good one.